Alrighty, guys, how are we doing? Welcome if you're watching the replay. We're going to watch live the David Sachs press conference. So give me just a quick second to set this up. They are still not live yet, but continue to share this link. We are waiting for Mr. David Sachs, who is the crypto czar. He is going to be coming here live in just a couple of minutes, it looks like. So send out this stream. We will see how price reacts to the crypto markets. And let's see if they can go live here. This is the page they're going to be streaming from, U.S. Senate Banking. So right now we are waiting. Feel free to let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. This was something I was not going to stream, but why not? This is some of the biggest news here today. We're seeing Bitcoin right now. If Bitcoin breaks this 102 level, I think we're going to see a big push to the upside. So we have David Czar coming live here, David Sachs coming live here in just a second. I want to actually pull up a clip of the individual that's going to be giving this White House press conference on digital assets. So let's actually pull this up and continue to share the link. I'm actually going to send this out real quick in some group chat. So stick with me here, send out, invite a friend on here, and we will get this thing going. So let's want to play this video real quick for you. Where's this video at that I was just watching? We could actually pull this up. I think this was a good one here. All right, so the press conference has not yet started yet.
For the crypto industry, President-elect Donald Trump spoke highly of cryptocurrencies on the campaign trail, and his cabinet picks reflect that. On 60 Minutes, Margaret Brennan spoke with the head of a crypto firm about the incoming administration.
The United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done.
Before this cycle, in June of 2021, Donald Trump was saying Bitcoin seems like a scam. Do you understand what happened with that transformation?
I didn't have a front row seat to that. I think it's clear that Donald Trump embraced crypto and crypto embraced Donald Trump.
Last week, Trump named David Sachs as his White House AI and crypto czar.
So this guy we're about to hear speak at the White House, House leaders, they're hosting a press conference on digital assets. So send this out. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. But this is the guy that's about to speak. He loves Ripple. He loves Solana, loves crypto. And Trump has appointed him as the crypto and the AI czar. Let's listen in for the rest of this, and then we will catch them live here, hopefully here soon. They're starting a little bit late.
In a statement, Trump says Sachs will help guide policy on areas, quote, critical to the future of American competitiveness. McKenna Kelly joins me now. She's a senior politics reporter for Wired. McKenna, thank you for being here. What do you know about David Sachs, and what will he be doing in this role?
David Sachs is a venture capitalist who has been investing in tech companies for decades at this point. And he does a lot of things. So he has basically become a media figure as well. He hosts the All In podcast, where he talks about the economy and politics and whatever he wants to talk about with his VC buddies every week. And he also was one of the first folks who started PayPal. Colloquially, we call it the PayPal Mafia. So long time ago in the 90s, Sachs was working with Peter Thiel, Elon.
You guys are on here. This is the individual we're about to hear speak. So feel free to send this link out, throw it in any group chats. We are waiting for the press conference to start. It's going to be happening on this channel. So we're going to watch it live here. We'll go over some live analysis here as well of the market, see if we get any reaction. Here we go. Here we go. Drop some sevens in the chat. You guys have no idea how big this is. We're about to get some clarity here finally. And we're going to watch this thing live together on my channel. So hit subscribe, hit the like button, and let's finish this real quick before it starts.
Musk, all of these folks that we've come to learn and have become huge players in politics today.
What is he going to be up against in this role? There are so many challenges, particularly with AI, but also crypto as it continues to grow and people continue to wonder what crypto is.
Sure. So I think the big thing that the crypto industry is looking for in a David Sachs crypto czar would be essentially the opposite of what the Biden administration has been doing. They want someone who will get in and understand. When I talk to people, they know that he understands the industry, they understand Silicon Valley, and he'll be able to guide regulation in the direction that it should be going according to the crypto industry.
So has the reaction to his appointment or pick been relatively positive?
It's been really positive. Now, the crypto industry had a lot to be excited about last week. Bitcoin, of course, hit a $100,000 valuation, and then they ended the week with David Sacks being appointed.
So this is the guy, everybody, and I'll actually just pull up his Twitter account here real quick. Yeah, this is the guy that's about to speak. He's about to give a press conference on the future of leadership and the future of regulation, I believe, around digital assets. If you guys didn't see yesterday, Trump signed something with a sovereign wealth fund. And if you don't know what that means, basically, you know, the U.S. essentially has a fund that they can invest in whatever they want. And they're talking about, or what they're going to do is they're going to take the balance sheet from the U.S. and they're going to go, really, really sorry to hear for all Maverick fans. They're going to take the balance sheet from the U.S. and they are going to invest in digital assets. So this is going to be going live here in just a couple of minutes. This is the individual we're about to hear speak. Okay, he is extremely bullish on XRP. His venture capitalist fund did invest in Solana very, very early on. And Trump appointed him as the crypto czar. So this is going to be interesting. If there's some questions in the chat, I'd love to answer some questions while we're here. We're really just waiting for the stream to start. This is happening from the White House. I believe President Trump will be there. I don't think he's speaking, but this is a big deal. This is a really, really big deal. And if you're not in the U.S., I see Poland is here. Poland, Estonia, Portugal, Vienna, Alberta, Germany. Even if you're not in the U.S., this still affects you. Because if the U.S. has positive crypto regulation, positive crypto, and an embracement of crypto, other countries will follow because they're going to see the wealth that is going to be built in America. And that's going to be built all around the world with these digital assets. So this is the individual, right? He's running the show, right? This guy is in control of all of our futures. I'm completely joking, completely kidding. But do yourself a favor and send this link out. We're going to watch this press conference live in real time. If Bitcoin sells off, I'm going to be looking for some buys down here. So I got the setup ready. Might even give it to y'all on the stream. If this thing sells off, this would be really interesting. I think we're going to get a lot of volatility in the market here. So we're waiting right now. If you guys are just getting on here, the White House, Senate, House leaders are hosting a press conference on digital assets. And the man of the hour is Mr. David Sacks, who Trump appointed as the crypto and AI czar. So stick around here. You guys have some questions, I'll answer some. I've been in crypto for the past 8 years, and this is literally probably going to be one of the craziest and the best weeks from a fundamental standpoint, right? The charts, and I have like multiple TVs on here. I'm seeing if other stations are covering it. It looks like it's just going to be on this channel, on this page. So we'll stream it live here. But maybe we get something like this for Bitcoin. You know, maybe Bitcoin does this, and then it makes that big move to the upside. We have the dollar completely dropping right now. So, you know, this could even be some news where the dollar gets sold off. That dollar just completely moves. So we got booking committee press event with Senator Tim Scott. So it looks like Tim Scott's going to be speaking and then probably passing it over to David Czar. We will cover the entire thing here live on the YouTube channel. So make sure you guys hit that like button. Hey, look, we'll do it again. If we hit 250 on the stream, I'll give away another $150 of crypto. So every stream I like to do something to give back. Okay, so we're just waiting here. This should be starting. It looks like the White House.
All right.
Here we go. Cue the
Good
music.
afternoon, everyone. It's
Here we
it's a
go.
real honor to be here, to be invited to
Here we
Capitol Hill here to speak alongside such distinguished leaders from both the House and the Senate.
Send
I
out
want
the
to thank Chairman Tim Scott, Chairman French Hill,
Can you guys
Chairman
hear the audio
John
good?
Bozeman, and Chairman G.T. Thompson,
Audio good. Can you guys hear the audio? Let me know in the chat. Let's go.
addressing some of the most important opportunities of our time in ensuring that the U.S. remains at the forefront of innovation and digital assets. The president said in his executive order in the first week that it's the policy of his administration to support the responsible growth and use of digital assets, blockchain technology, and related technologies across all sectors of the economy. And he established an executive branch working group for digital assets, which includes Secretary Besson at Treasury, Secretary Noem, soon to be confirmed Attorney General Bondi, Secretary Letnick at Commerce, and all the other key administration officials that have an equity in crypto. And similarly, the SEC has set up a crypto task force led by Hester Peirce, which is also looking at this issue. And together, our objective is to accomplish the task the president assigned for us in his EO, which is to propose a federal regulatory framework governing the issuance and operation of digital assets, including stablecoins, in the United States. I've talked to many founders over the past few years, and they've told me repeatedly that the number one thing they need from Washington is regulatory clarity.
Yep.
They just want to know what the rules of the road are so they can abide by them. We're coming off, frankly, 4 years of arbitrary prosecution and persecution of crypto companies where the SEC wouldn't tell founders what the rules were, but then they would prosecute them. And many founders have even told me stories of being debanked personally just because they had founded a crypto company. All of this approach was driving this important technology of the future offshore, and we want to keep that innovation onshore in the U.S. Financial assets are destined to become digital, just like every analog industry has become digital, and we want that value creation to happen in the United States rather than giving it away to other countries. This will also, I should add, be much better for consumer protection because it's easier for regulators to supervise an activity when it's onshore.
Say it.
And it's
Come on,
probably
David.
not a coincidence that the single biggest fraud in the history of crypto, which was FTX, was based in the Bahamas. By moving the innovation onshore, it'll be easier to separate out the good actors from the bad actors. And we want to encourage the good actors, the innovators, while protecting the market from the bad actors. And I think a market structure legislation with clear definitions and fair rules will do that. I want to say additionally, we're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Hagerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates. So let me stop there, and I want to thank the chairman here today, Chairman Scott, Chairman Hill, Chairman Bozeman, Chairman Thompson. And I look forward to working with them as part of the administration to help turn President Trump's policy into reality. This was a week one priority for the administration, and we're excited that our counterparts in Congress are equally committed to ensuring American dominance in digital assets. I look forward to working with each of you. And with that, I want to say work with each of you in creating a golden age in digital assets. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chairman Scott. Thank you.
I think David represents promises made, promises kept. I love the campaign trail when President Trump was out there making promises, and we see today he's keeping those promises. And in so many ways, I think back to a kid as I was a long time ago, growing up in a single-parent household, mired in poverty, and hoping that the American dream would one day be accessible for me. I think that we're standing here today at the precipice of greatness for so many kids who are looking forward to democratization, having access points for their families and for themselves that makes it easier and less expensive to do business in this country. I love the concept that we see today, synergy within the administration, the House, and the Senate, focusing not on ourselves, but focusing on working class Americans who desperately need
Guys, I think the market's going to sell off here.
access. That's what the bicameral working group will help tackle. I have a pre-existing working friendship with GT and French and John. And the good news is we come together already having proven the ability to work together to get things done for the American people. It's an exciting time to be an American. And as David said, the golden age has begun.
Said it again.
And the good news is it's going to get better. I'm excited about what we will accomplish for the American people. I'm excited about the synergistic approach that we're taking in the House and the Senate, with the White House leading the way. Next, you'll hear from Chairman French Hill.
Thank you, Chairman Scott, and David Sachs, thank you for coming to Capitol Hill to celebrate with us the fact that in the 119th Congress, we have a bicameral project for both a stablecoins bill and a regulatory framework that will bring clarity to digital assets in the United States so that we are the land of opportunity, the land of innovation that we have been for decades in so many other technologies. We don't want to be behind in financial technology and digital assets in the United States, but our innovators, as David Sachs reported, need clarity. They need to know what the rules of the road are, and that's why I'm excited to be here today to share this announcement that we're forming a working group on a bicameral basis between the House Financial Services Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, the House Agriculture Committee, and the Senate Agriculture Committee to make progress on that clarity for a regulatory framework and to create and structure a stablecoins bill that will lend itself to advancing America as the reserve currency of the world. This is a big issue. Bicameral support this year is dynamic because last year in the 118th Congress, we had success on a bipartisan basis in the House on both stablecoin legislation moving out of the House Financial Services Committee and for the regulatory framework moving across the House floor with a strong bipartisan vote. 71 Democrats joined House Republicans in moving that policy forward. So in my view, with the wind at our back of a leader like President Trump, who knows that financial innovation, financial technology is where America's heart is, where our entrepreneurs' our hearts are, that will lead from the executive branch. And now, with this bicameral partnership with Senate Agriculture and Senate Banking, along with our House committees, I look very, very forward to the success we're going to have in the 119th Congress. And let me ask my good friend from Arkansas, a fellow Razorback, the chairman of the House Ag Committee, John Bozeman.
We're all still excited about the big Kentucky win. So it's good to be with you all. We've been working hard on this for the last 3 years, and we've had our ups and our downs. When we started working on it, crypto was gaining popularity, and then with Sam Bankman-Fried and other things, it seemed like perhaps it was in trouble. It's rebounded, though, and is bigger than ever. So our goal is to make sure that consumers are protected, make sure that the industry, in order for it to grow and be able to offer all of the things that it does offer to the various disciplines that are out there, whether you're a bank or whether you're investing a client's money for their retirement or whatever, you've got protections, there's structure in it, and it will allow the industry itself, because it is regulated, people can have confidence in that, to grow. It's a little different than our normal situations in the sense we've got these jurisdiction things. So I'm the chairman of AG. Why am I here? Because we have the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and some assets are commodities, some are securities. So the SEC has jurisdiction over the securities, CFTC has jurisdiction over the other. So the idea that we're working together, again, we've all been working separately. We've made progress over the last several years, but working together now with purpose, and then also having the White House, having the czar over here, again, to visit with him and really set up a structure so that we can get a final structure to make this thing work is very, very important. So I appreciate Senator Scott, I think, really coming up with that idea. And I think it's a good one, and we're looking forward to actually get some things accomplished in the next several months.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Congressman G.T. Thompson, Chair of the House Agriculture Committee. And this is what we're doing today is sort of the next step in what will be a milestone, which will be a great accomplishment for our country. You know, America really was a leader when it came to Internet 1.0, right? It was the Internet of knowledge. And the Internet 2.0, again, it was America that led that for the world, not just for our citizens, but for the world. And that was the Internet of things. And then Internet 3.0 is what we're talking about today, and that's the Internet of value. And we're approaching it in a principled way. You know, my colleagues here mentioned a couple of those. Number one, do no harm. You know, protect consumers, provide that regulatory structure, that certainty, both for the industry, but quite frankly for the consumers as well. And secondly is foster innovation, because the opportunities are just really are unimaginable. Well, what I believe is that whatever's over the horizon is going to be very, very exciting. So I'm really, well, first of all, just very thankful to President Trump for his historic efforts to bring regulatory clarity to the digital assets markets. His leadership with the work that David Sachs is going to lead on his behalf is going to be a game changer for American competitiveness in the global race to build the new economy. The president could not have picked a better person to helm his AI and digital asset efforts. David brings a wealth of experience in exploring new technologies and building successful businesses to this new role. You know, we've had great conversations, and I know that he is laser focused on bringing certainty to digital asset markets. I want to congratulate my friend Chairman French Hill. He is the right man to lead the Financial Services Committee in the House at this moment, in this time, and he's a great partner and the type of leader that we need to advance this issue. We worked incredibly well last Congress together alongside Patrick McHenry, and I'm excited to build on that work together. I also want to congratulate our newly elevated Senate colleagues, Chairman Boozman and Chairman Scott. Perhaps there's no one more pleased than me to be able to say Chairman Boozman. John and Tim and their members are going to bring a wealth of talent and expertise to this discussion from the Senate majority. We did incredible work in the House last Congress in the 118th, and I'm proud of the efforts that went into our historic vote on FIT 21. I'm equally excited to have these partners and a new administration in place to be able to finish the job. I'm thrilled to lead House Agriculture Committee members as we work with this incredible team to put a bill on President Trump's desk. And I think at this point we're going to be in a position to take a few questions.
Somebody ask him a good question, please. This was so boring. Come on, please. Talk about Ripple or something.
Thanks so much for holding this today. I wanted to start off, you're talking about legislation. Can you talk a little bit about FIT 21 last time, the bill that you plan to introduce again? What differences are you going to see now that we have the trifecta in Washington?
Well, thanks, Emily. We did do good work, good, strong bipartisan work on FIT 21, which was the clarity for a market structure bill. That bill, I think, had the basics for the exact bill that we'll propose to introduce again in the 119th Congress. There may be some modest changes, but it had bipartisan support. We did a lot of work in our markup and in the floor preparation for it in both the Ag Committee under Dusty Johnson leadership and G.T. Thompson's leadership, and in House Financial Services. So on the regulatory framework bill, that'll be the approach that the House takes. On stable coins, I think you'll see us have a bill that's very similar to the approach that's been taken in the Senate. Recently, Senator Hagerty's introduced legislation. That bill was closer to the original proposal that Patrick McHenry put in place early in the 118th Congress, and I think you'll see the House exposed a draft for stable coins that would be similar to the approach taken by Senator Hagerty. But let me ask GT or to comment or Tim.
So I established this year a digital asset subcommittee so that we could take a deep dive into market structure as well as stable coins. Good news is stable coins led by Bill Hagerty on the Senate side out already today. We've seen Cynthia Lummis as a co-sponsor. Market structure is a place where you have left and right leaning in. We have members from Gillibrand and Lummis working together in the past, now working together in the future, coming to the table to create the framework for the Senate so that we can harmonize Fit 21, the parts that we see as a path forward to a signature into law. So the good news is, from my perspective, having the Digital Asset Subcommittee really working on the market structure at the same time, simultaneously having Bill Hagerty lead the conversation around stable coins, having that bill out for us to take a look at, and there will be an amendment process, will be a part of that for us. And then hopefully, very quickly, we'll see the House, they're working on it as well, so we'll have a legislation that's able to go to the President's desk.
Let me just say, I'm very proud of the work that we did in 118th with Fit 21, and that was done in, you heard others talk about, we had Republicans and Democrats certainly in committee and on the House floor, significant vote that we achieved, but I like to say we achieved that in a tripartisan way. We worked in bringing the industry, bringing key stakeholders to the table, and so I look forward to, quite frankly, on working with my colleagues here and President Trump to continue that process of refining what we do, whether it's market structures and the other aspects of this bill.
Brendan Peterson with Punchbowl News. I wanted to ask if you all are thinking about making changes to anti-money laundering law as a part of this push, given the concerns we've heard about debanking in the crypto sector and beyond, and the broader concerns about money transmitter licenses and the sensitivities of AML.
Yeah. We're certainly open for discussion. One of the things that the subcommittee will take a look at is the whole playing field. I mean, at the end of the day, to get all of our members on board, we're going to have to be open to comments and thoughts on the issue. I think we're in a good place. The Bank Secrecy Act is something that we've discussed with the other side. They have a focus on it. I think that the broader conversation should not be about digital assets alone. It's about bad actors doing bad things by any means necessary. And so having that conversation from a panoramic view and not simply from an digital asset perspective is going to be important for us to get to the end of that conversation.
Brendan, I would add, having been the subcommittee chair in the last Congress, and Brian Stiles is going to have that mission this time. He'll do an excellent job, I think, on the market structure bill and the stablecoin bill as it relates to the security aspects of it. We were very sensitive in the 118th Congress about the law enforcement aspects of digital assets, not any different than we are about any other means of transfer of or payment method, whether you're talking about cash or the ACH system or real-time payments. This is an important point. I agree with Senator Scott completely. We'll listen to our members. But in the drafts that we pro-offered last year that, as I say, we had bipartisan support for, they had strict AML standards in them for this digital arrangement for digital assets that are not unlike the requirements out in the analog financial services space. It's why we call the bills fit for purpose, because this is not an intermediated form of finance anymore, and so these laws have to reflect how transactions are conducted. But AML and BSA are important for every member on both sides of the Capitol.
I'm just curious this year whether you have any idea of the timeline when you expect to get those worked through Congress, and then also
Don't turn this off. You guys still there? Did this thing just ride? Oh. I'm gonna give my thoughts. Flip up.
So we're starting that now and have started member education. And quite honestly, crypto is not the easiest thing to wrap your mind around. Not everyone comes into Congress with a good, full understanding and a thorough knowledge. And so member education is what our first goal is here. And then how it times up, it is, I think we've shown the ability to be able to move a market structures bill, well, FIT 21 as a whole, out of the House in the past. I think we're probably in a really good position to, when we conclude our work and preparation this time around, to be able to do that. So I don't see this being attached to a farm bill.
Thank you.
Hang on one second.
I would say, if I was thinking about this a little bit, I think what we have is an opportunity to get things done. My theory is the first 100 days of a new administration is important. On the Senate side, my goal is to be as aggressive as possible to achieve an objective of having bills through the Senate in 100 days.
Just to go back to Emily's question on this and combine it with timing, Maeve, is here's the way to think about it. We did a lot of work in the 118th Congress in the House. So we're prepared to move forward in the House Financial Services Committee, and I won't speak for Chairman Thompson, by introducing legislation or having discussion drafts of our legislation, attaching those to a set of committee hearings. But it's exactly as GT points out. We have new members, we've got to do new member education. And so we have to level set here. This is why Chairman Bozeman and Chairman Scott have stepped up digital assets at a subcommittee level to bring members along and do that member education here in the Senate, something that in the House, we had the benefit, obviously of 2 Congresses working on that. So I think a key element now, though, is the education and technical assistance that can be provided to members both in the House and Senate from the executive branch now, as President Trump's leadership posts are confirmed, and key among them is his AI and crypto advisor, David Sacks. And David, would you want to speak to this issue of helping members
Please, David,
come
please.
up to speed?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So this is what we're here for, and I actually did a session even before the start of this Congress with Speaker Johnson. We did a great sort of open dialogue with members of the House in that case, and I think part of what we're here to do is provide resources on education. Some of them can be outside advisors, kind of luminaries in the industry, and we're talking to a lot of those people. And then, I'm also available anytime to talk to members about this. It can, crypto can be an esoteric subject, and it is good to explain it, to kind of demystify it, because I think once you understand that, you've kind of got the cryptocurrency itself, like Bitcoin, but then what it really runs on are blockchains, which are just distributed ledgers. It's really a new type of decentralized computing platform, and there's a lot of things that can be built on that computing platform. So in any event, we're happy here to provide those resources to help explain it, both on Capitol Hill and beyond.
He won't say the name.
Thank you, Jasper Goodman with Politico. Thanks
I got
for
last
doing this. Senator Hagerty is out with a stablecoin bill today. Given that that's out there and that there's been more consensus in the past on stablecoins as opposed to market structure, do you plan to move first on stablecoins ahead of market structure? And relatedly, to what extent in both of these processes do you plan to engage Democrats versus going at it alone now that you have the trifecta?
Yeah. So the bill's out, as you know. We have been working with Democrats already on the bill. You'll see co-sponsors will line up on both sides. It's moving quickly. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at a place where you see very little bipartisan coalition building. The members of the committee, as well as folks like Gillibrand off the committee, are very anxious to have a win in this digital space. And so for the first time in a long time, there's a reason to take a deep breath and release it, because the legislation moving forward very quickly is happening. Good news is they have had, as French said, a lot of time working on the legislation as well.
All right, guys, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. So, all right, take a deep breath. Let's reset. Let's stop watching this. And this is like a prime example. everybody is expecting this crazy, crazy news here and nothing happens, right? They literally just talked in circles. Okay, but I actually do want to speak about this, and then I need to get off. I have a ton of things I need to get done. This is one of the regulatory frame bills you heard all the reporters asking questions about, called FIT 21. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this. I'm just going to literally read this and explain it to you in simple terms. Okay, this is a bill. It's a bipartisan bill. What does that mean? It means that Republicans and Democrats are both, they're okay with it, right? They're both pushing for it. This is not finalized yet. Okay, but what is it going to do? It's going to separate digital assets, yeah, regulate digital assets. So you have the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, and then the CFTC, right? You heard some of the politicians talking about how they were working separately. Now they're working together. That's great, cool. But now they'll know who's doing what. So the SEC goes after people that are selling or basically every meme coin, SEC can go attack here soon. Meme coins are securities. People are buying the meme coin to make money. No meme coins are commodities. Okay? So SEC is going to take care of that. CFTC is going to take care of commodities and futures trading. Now, if you don't know, okay, XRP and Solana are both going to be able to be traded in the futures market. That's very bullish for both of them, okay? Then you have FIT 21. This bill provides consumer protections. FTX. You guys heard them mention FTX. Who heard the guy talk about FTX? FTX was the bottom of the market. FTX happened when Bitcoin was down here. Okay. This was all FTX. FTX, Terra Luna, all of that happened this entire crash down, right? Interest rates. It was a multitude of things. And I keep seeing this question in the chat, why is the market going down when all this is happening? I'll explain that in a second, so don't go anywhere and then we'll wrap up. Okay, also this bill creates a regulatory framework, and this is what we need. So we need to know who's in charge of what. We need to know how. Now this bill is not for taxes. Okay, I believe an executive order is going to get signed for crypto taxes, and I think it'll be pro-crypto. So this is good. Okay, the press conference was good, right? What David said was good. But you can tell that they're beating around the bush. They don't want to give exact details and exact things because maybe they haven't figured it out yet. But also they want to keep price low. They need time to accumulate. Okay, this investment fund, this sovereign wealth fund, they need time to buy. So when we look at something like Bitcoin, right, the press conference started right here, ran up or right before, and now is pushing down. I think it'll do something like this and then make a bigger move. Because expectation, right, the expectation of that conference, people probably thought it was just going to moon, probably thought it was just going to rip to the upside. But we just had a massive sell-off, right? The worst sell-off ever in crypto. All right, we had a massive liquidation event across all altcoins and leverage. So we do need to retest, in my opinion, some of those levels. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you're with me. If you haven't hit like on this video, be sure you do it. And be sure to hit subscribe. I have a ton of calls, guys, that I'm late for. I need to get over to right now. But don't worry, okay? Whether we sell off, we go higher. America and Trump and the administration, everything is in alignment. And if you would have mentioned 5, 7, 8 years ago that this would happen one day, most people wouldn't believe you. Okay? But I think it's foundational things that are taking place. And when you build a foundation of a house, you don't get the house right away. You build the foundation and then you put the concrete, and then it takes time, and then the house looks completed down the road. This is really a play for down the road of what they were saying. Getting everything in place, getting subcommittees in place. Senator Loomis is now a subcommittee to Tim Scott or whatever. Getting the regulatory agencies, creating new agencies for this, building these bills. They don't want to rush into it. And it makes sense because they also don't want to send this market flying, maybe right now. So That's why I think that conference went the way I was expecting it to. And now we're going to see the market react. We probably see a sell-off here. I gave you what I see on Bitcoin, okay? Guys, if you haven't gone to my website, go to MikeSotero.com. All my free books, resources are all on this site right here. Okay, you can go to MikeSotero.com. Go to programs. I have a free crypto course, Prepare for Market Euphoria. I could have sold this. I did it for free. I have a brand new book, The Investor's Compass. My first book I wrote 2 years ago, The Tokenomics Blueprint. Just go here, click Learn More, and I will send you all of these things directly to your email for 100% free. Yeah, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a great evening, great afternoon. Be smart, trade smart, invest smart. I'll see you.